Welcome to Everyday VBA, your online solution for becoming an Excel VBA expert.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Terrell. We're solving the Macro Monday challenge. The Macro Monday challenge is to take the cell and tell me what cell that is within a message box. So we're going to go ahead and dig in. Notice I've already opened up my Visual Basic editor. If I can do that by hitting Alt F11. I can also do that by going to the Developer tab, going to Visual Basic, and that'll open that up. If you notice, it highlights over that Alt F11. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add a module. We're going to call this sub MSG box cell. I could call this whatever I wanted as long as it's not a special reference to an event or procedure. So I couldn't call that sub because there are certain words that all programming languages use, and those are keywords in which you can't rename those. Makes sense. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a variable called CL. We're going to make this variable equal to activecell.address. Okay. What that does is active cells is the cell in which Excel is currently on. So if you'll notice we're on cell C3. And I'm just going to show you how this works. So you can hit the play button. If I hit the play button, it's going to look like it doesn't do anything. It's actually going to process this whole code. But for this purpose, I'm going to use F8. And F8 just walks through one line at a time. So if I hit F3 or F8, and then if I hit F8 again, you'll notice that it says that my active cell address is C3. You'll notice that this variable is also empty. When I hit F8, it's going to make that equal to C3, which gives us what we need for our message box. So now all we need to do is add in our message box. The message box is MSGBOX. The prompt is going to be your current cell is, and then I'm going to use AND, which is going to add in whatever I have within my variable into CL. We're going to go comma. Notice the IntelliSense shows up. We're going to go VB. I just want this to be OK only. And then we're going to call this cell address. Now if I hit run, it should tell me what I'm expecting is that it is going to say your current cell is C3. So if I hit F5, that's exactly what it tells me. My current cell address is C3. Now if I change that, let's make sure that it works. It's D9. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, so let's go into just one deeper level as far as how to use message boxes, because you're going to use message boxes. You're going to want, sometimes you use OK and no, sometimes you're going to want to use OK only, sometimes you're going to want to use retry. There's all those boxes have a number that's attached to them, and in order to use that you have to do a couple things. So we need to pass that number into a variable, and so I'm going to call this inbox, which is another variable, and I'm going to set that equal. Now when I hit down, this whole line is going to turn red, and I'll show you why. When I'm not passing this to a variable, it's okay. You don't need to have the parentheses, but when you do pass it to a variable, you do need to have that. That can be really annoying when you're trying to figure those little things out. But you'll notice that now that's empty. It's going to give me my message box. It's going to say it's currently in D9. I'm going to click OK, and you'll notice that inbox gets the 1. Now, what that means is that OK is equal to number 1. So let's come in here and let's change this to VB yes, no, cancel. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to hit F5. I'm going to hit cancel on that, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stop mark here. That basically is going to stop it. Actually, I'm going to do this differently than that. I'm going to show you a little debugging trick right here. So we're going to go debug.print, and we're going to print CL and space and inbox. So what this is going to do is it's going to print this down here in my, I have my locals window. I want to pull in my immediate window. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. So I've got my immediate window. If I hit F8, it's going to give me, I'm going to get a chance, so I'm going to hit yes, and we're going to know that that yes equals 6. Now when I print that, it's going to give that to me in my immediate window, and that can be super helpful as far as creating debugging code coming in, running into issues. So now if I hit, we know that VB yes is 6. Let's see what no is. No is 7. We hit F5. What is cancel? Cancel is 2. Now, the other thing you can do is we could go okay, if I just type in VB no, I don't want to search. If I type in VB no, it's going to give me a number. Each one of these buttons has a number that it comes with, but it also has text. So you've got VB no, VB yes, VB cancel, etc. And those will be the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, we're going to hit F5 or F8 to walk through each line of code. I'm going to type no. This is going to print this and 7, and then it's going to print 7. So I just wanted to show you that because that can be very helpful when you don't necessarily what those numbers are, because the next step after this is if they hit no, you're going to do an if statement, or you're going to do some sort of logic, some sort of code. If they hit no, you're going to do a different type of code. But that's Macro Monday for today. Hope you enjoyed.